Dispatchers help callers on the worst days of their lives. For over 25 years, we've been there. A silent partner in millions of calls thanks to our redundant and diverse networks that ensure call delivery. Today, cities are bigger, traffic more congested, and the challenge is more complex. But you're never alone, because InDigital is quietly improving, implementing, and driving the next generation of 911, so you're supported in every situation. Make the switch at InDigital.net.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Yo, what is going on? Welcome back. This is Ricardo, and I don't know what happened with one of my monitors is like hanging forward. All right, there we go. Sorry. I don't know what happened. I must have hit it on accident or something, but welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. It is July. That's right. July 6th. 2025, and as always, it's going by fast. June was here and gone. Oh, happens all the time. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, a leader next gen core services, and big shout out to subscribers as always. Thank you all very, very much, but especially all of you who are here watching, listening, supporting, and sharing. Thank you. Usually I'm live on TikTok as well. However, one of my devices wasn't charged, so I'm not doing it. I'll go live on there next week, or actually maybe even in a couple days or tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, but we are currently live now on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Instagram. And as always on my side, for whatever reason on Instagram, it's frozen, but for all of you, you can see me over there. So that's good stuff. But I'm happy to be here with all of you. It has been just a lot of stuff going on. And actually just a couple days ago, I actually went live from Circle, from the Trenches community, because I'm building a bunch of stuff on there, have more people that continue to join. And I wanted to take some screenshots because I was creating some graphics, some promos to put out there. I got them out there. But here's the thing. When I went live, I wasn't thinking about the fact that it was going to send notifications to every single person that is a member of the community. And it said that that the people were joining in, and I was like, oh no, I don't know what I'm going to say. Because I was just doing some testing and I was taking some pictures and such. And Roxy, what's going on, my friend? So Roxy checked in, and she checked in on there. She's checking in here now, but she was like the first one on there. She's like, hey buddy. I was like, what's going on? But in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about, because I was just going to do some testing. But it was good because I did have a couple things to share. where I was talking about the community and some of the things that we're going to be doing on there. So it actually ended up being good for anyone who goes back on there to watch the replay, which it's available in the community event space. And you're able to see the explanation and all the stuff that we were talking about. So as always with Open Mic Live, as we check in with each other, what is your number? Coming in this week, what is your number? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, where are you today? The week leading up to today, how are you doing? A lot of stuff going on in the world, and just want to give a shout out to everyone who has been impacted or has felt the impact from the flooding that has been going on and in Central Texas. So I was checking on a bunch of people, and I don't even have words. I have no idea. I have no idea how things are going with a lot of folks. But if you need anything, if there's any way that I can assist with something, please let me know. Send me a message, send me an email, something, and let me know if there's any way that I can help out, even if it's just trying to make you guys laugh. I will do whatever I can, because I can't imagine. I have a lot of family in Texas, a lot of friends in Texas, and I'm in that state a lot. I was just in there a few weeks ago, out there rather, and I love that state. There's a lot of stuff that I've done, and especially just from growing up, visiting out there a lot, especially in those areas. So again, my heart goes out to all of you, everyone who has been working at the impact in any way. My heart goes out to you. And again, if there's anything that I can do somehow, again, even if it's just making you guys laugh, I will do whatever I can. So I just wanted to make sure to put that out there, that we're all thinking of all of you. Again, I can't imagine. Let's see. As we go in for numbers, checking it out. Let's see, over here on Instagram, we've got Dispatch Crazy 24 checking in right now, about a 5. Not good, but no, I'm more blessed than I deserve. Well, I am happy that you feel blessed, that you're at a 5. We'll see if we can get the number up a little bit, or even if it stays the same, that's good as well, because we are here together, talking and all. And Dispatch Crazy 24 also says, and Texas in parentheses, and their dispatchers loves you. Oh, loves me. Thank you. Yeah, and I love all of you out there. Again, let me know if there's anything I can do. I will do my best. Let's see. Roxy over here checking in at a 5. Donna checking in at a 3. It's been a rough weekend here. Again, I can't even imagine. Chris checking in at about an 8 this evening. That is excellent. And I agree, Roxy. Yes, so sad. Just the stuff that's going on. And see, Donna goes on to say, we almost lost a sergeant and a few deputies, but they were able to get to safety. Well, thank the Lord for that. Yes, definitely. I saw I'll just say it. I saw several people on Facebook just checking in, and as I was seeing people checking in, saying that they were safe and everything, I just thought, oh man, that's good. The people that I know and everything, and I just hope things get better out there in any way possible. That's all I can really say. Let's see over here. Roxy says, my neighbor set my porch on fire. There's that. We can laugh at that. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm chuckling, but I'm chuckling in disbelief. Like, what? I'm guessing this was on the 4th of July and like your neighbors were setting off some stuff in their yard or something and it landed on your porch? I'm waiting to see your comment here because that is crazy. Yeah, exactly, Donna. OMG, Roxy. What? Okay, as you're typing that out, I want to give one more shout out here really quick. So I'm going to put a picture up on the screen and I want to give another shout out here really quick because I meant to do this last week's open mic, fresh back from Cali from National Nina, and I did not get the chance, so I apologize. I really do. 91 Bowler says, "Yo yo yo, everyone! Hope y'all still have 10 fingers today." Thank you, Gary Tammy Hill. I do. Yes. All right, let me put this on the screen here really quick. This right here, folks, is my good friend Kelsey. Actually, my good friends, Kelsey and her service dog, but also an ESA, emotional support animal. This is Chief Purpose. Oh my God, I didn't notice when she sent me. Kelsey, if you end up seeing this, I did not even see or realize he had that awesome bow tie on. What? Look at that. That is amazing. Okay, so I want to mention this. Like I said, I meant to mention this last week and I did not get the chance. So this was really cool. Okay. Also, Chief Purpose has an Instagram account. So if you are not following, please make sure to do so. Kelsey was with I Am Responding, who was in partnership with Rapid SOS, and Chief Purpose belongs to Kelsey. And in that partnership and everything that they're doing together, and if I'm butchering this, I'm sure Keely will see this later, and she'll add some stuff to it so that you guys know for sure. But throughout partnerships and everything else, they do a lot of different things, and it was really cool when we were at Nina. And I've met Kelsey like months ago. Like we've known each other for a little while now, and they were in the booth and they were doing their thing. People are coming around saying hello to the both of them, and as I was as I was doing my rounds and everything that I was doing, and I had just posted that Within the Trenches and Rapid SOS have this partnership now that we're coming together. And then on Instagram right here, through Chief Purpose's account, says, "Big news, my humans partnered with at WTT Podcast. I hope me and Ricardo become best friends and that he has snacks, or at least knows a guy." That was awesome. That was really cool. And as I was going through the day on Tuesday, I thought, man, it would be really cool if I could have Kelsey and Chief Purpose in my Imagine listening session. Because if you've, kept track with everything that I do, everything going on, there's been one time a few years back, like 3 or 4 years ago, where I was at the Texas conference and it was in Galveston during that time, and they had a dog there, an emotional support animal on ESA. And there were these two, we'll say seasoned ladies who brought their dog inside into the Imagine listening session. And the conference had asked me, they said, do you think it would be okay? I said, that's kind of a cool idea. I've never done it before. Let's try it. Now, here's the thing. Anyone who was sharing stories, they did not actually ask for them to bring the dog over. And they sat up front, and I said, if you got, just raise your hand if you would like, and they'll come by. It, a girl that was sitting up front, the front table right next to them, did reach over and was petting the dog and everything else. But and the ladies had an excellent time. I was nervous though because of the open mic piece. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to handle some of the stuff that we were going to be talking about, but they loved it, and thank the Lord, because I was nervous. But it was a cool thing. So that had popped into my head, and I was at booth 621, where we were recording a lot of different content there, and a lot of partners and everything were in that booth. Well, I walked over to the main Rapid SOS booth, and Kelsey was there, and I was waiting my turn because there was a lot of people there talking with the both of them, and she turns around, she's like, "Hey," I was like, "Hey, I have a quick question for you." And I don't even know if you're able to do this, because I don't know what else you have going on. I know you've got other obligations and such. However, if you're able to, it would be awesome to have you and the chief in my Imagine listening session. And it was also the day of the party that Rapid SOS was throwing on the Queen Mary. So Kelsey was like, I just have to make sure that I'm back over there by about 5, because there's a bunch of stuff that we have to do. And I said, okay, cool. I said, it'll just be for the first half, so just 30 minutes. And she's like, all right. She goes, I will do my best for us to be in there. And I said, that's cool. I said, if you can, awesome. If not, no worries. Like I said, I know this is last second and you've got other things going on. And so I'm in the class, I'm getting everything set up, I'm talking to people as they're coming in, and in walks Kelsey and Chief Purpose. And I thought, yes, this is going to be awesome. So I'm going through and it was a packed room too. So I'm going through telling people what we're going to be doing. And I said, if you feel that you need Chief Purpose, Kelsey will bring him over. Well, here was the coolest thing. Okay. This was what I thought was awesome, because no one had to raise their hand or, in a sense, be put on the spot. And what I mean is, when we were going through it, first person shares a story, and as they finish, and the person, got emotional, which, if you've been in Imagine listening session, you know how it is. It can be emotionally intense, but that's why we're there. And we're there together in support of each other, in a safe place where people know what it is like when you are sharing a story, and we're able to connect through this power of storytelling. So as I'm telling the person, thank you so much for sharing your story, and I'm looking around to see who the next person is to share, as I make my way over, Kelsey and Chief Purpose are coming over to that person without them having to raise their hands. Kelsey and the Chief were simply following me. So they stayed with her for a moment, and then the next person, as I moved to the next, they followed. And it went like that for the entire first 30 or so minutes that we were doing Imagine listening. And it was so good. So Kelsey, I thank you for that. And Chief Purpose, of course, thank you. Thank you both. I think that's what made it even better, was that no one was put on the spot. It wasn't one of those moments where someone might get into their head and think, oh, people are going to see me requesting, for the emotional support animal to come over, and, maybe feel slightly embarrassed, which it happens, right? It can happen that way. But the fact that Kelsey and Chief Purpose were just simply following me around with each person, and each person had their time to just kind of love on Chief Purpose and them be there. That was the way to do it. And after the session was over, and Kelsey and the Chief actually stayed through the main part of open mic as well. And Kelsey even shared a story in there, which was awesome. So again, thank you both for that. That was amazing. It was very well done. I love that you did it the way that you did it. You followed me around to each person so that they didn't feel almost as if they were simply put on the spot, where all eyes were already on them as it was to share a story, but then even more so to get loves, you know? So thank you, the both of you, because that's the way it should be done. And that's the way you did it. That's the way we did it. And it was so good. And I got compliments afterwards, and people were like, that was really cool. Like, that was a good addition for this one. I was like, it was spur of the moment. I've only done it one other time, and I asked Kelsey if we could do it that way and if she was available. And yes, 911 Bowler. Yes, like it was meant to be. It was perfect. So again, if you are not doing so already on Instagram, go to Instagram, and it's at Chief Purpose. Follow the Chief, his adventures with Kelsey and everything that they do. I'm going to put this here in the comments as well. Oh, right there, my girl Nicole, Erica, she was there in the room. So yes, it was awesome. She was there. She knows. And it was really cool. And Kelsey said that if we're ever at the same conference and I'm doing Imagine Listening, they would be glad to come in and do it again. So thank you both. That was awesome. Again, make sure to follow Chief Purpose and the Chief's adventures with Kelsey. Thank you again. That was the coolest. So I wanted to make sure to put that out there and just kind of go into detail of how it went down and what we were talking about and everything. And it was, I'm still beaming from it. Still beaming, man. Still loving the whole thing. It was excellent. But again, make sure to follow them there on Instagram. And I've had so much stuff going on that I'm finally going to get episode 2 of Imagine Listening out there. It's just, I laugh because it's funny to say it. It's funny to say episode 2 versus the OG podcast Within the Trenches, that episode 610 is coming out here pretty soon, man. Woo! I got that one coming up this Wednesday. So I've got episode 2 of Imagine Listening coming out, and that's going to be an open mic episode. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up probably doing the California one, and then doing one that I did at the ranch, and then do a classic Imagine Listening episode. So I've got all of those coming up and everything. So make sure to look out for those. Just powerful stories. And again, shout out to Kelsey and Chief Purpose. So I want to look back up here because Roxy was typing something out. So fireworks, porch, flames, Murica. Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's just this massive redneck fiesta that was going on. Oh no. So that's what happened. They were just shooting off fireworks. Were they mortars? I don't know. I can only imagine what kind of firework it was that landed on your porch, and that it caught fire. Whatever it was, I'm glad that you and your husband and your little man that everyone is okay. That is pretty crazy. We had some stuff going on as well for the 4th, and I want to share just a couple things, okay? Just want to share a couple things. Couple videos here. This one is about 40 seconds. So here's the thing. I don't know about all of you, but the last couple of years, we have not purchased like hardcore fireworks, where in the past prior to that, my brother and I were buying like some straight up mortars and just going to town, and it was awesome, but it was also awesomely expensive. So the last couple of years we have not. We've just we'll get like one box, you know, that's like a finale type thing, right? And then it's mostly fountains and like the little parachute ones and some of the smaller ones, like the one shots that go up. They're like mini mortars. And of course your sparklers, right? Just like classic fireworks. And the reason we're doing this is because of what I'm about to show you right now. Okay. So this is something I recorded. And if you listen close, you hear my youngest, my daughter, Olivia. I'm pretty sure she yells out, "Merca." It was pretty funny, but it also like put what we were doing to shame. But this is why, and I'll get to it here in just one moment. But let me switch this over because it's kind of loud. So if you're listening to this and you've got any dogs or anything like that, like mute it. Just go ahead and mute it because I'm gonna play some of these fireworks. Okay, so that's what it is that I'm about to do. All right, here we go. It was right in the middle. You can hear her go, "Merca." Okay. So that was just like 41 seconds, right? Yeah, 41 seconds. Okay. In the addition where I live, on the other side of the addition, that's where that was going on. At a certain, around that time, though, we can walk in front of our home and see all of that going off, and to the left part of the addition, more going off like that, to the right, more going off, and then in back of us. So it's going all at the same time. And I'm not going to show you all the videos, but I just wanted to show you that one because that was crazy. Like you can hear the as it's going up, right? And we had just finished a couple of ours that went up in the air, and a couple fountains. And after the fountains, that's what we heard, and we turned around and that's what we saw. That was just 41 seconds of it. It was enormous. And they did it a few times like that. My homie Donna, she's like, my dogs were completely unimpressed by your fireworks. My bad, yo. Oh, that's funny. That's why I said what I was going to play for you to mute it. Oh man, that is hilarious. But that was crazy. And so that is why. That is the reason why my brother and I don't go all out buying tons of mortars anymore, because all of that is around us. Seriously, last year we finished early and we just sat out front and just watched all of it going. We're just like eating chips and stuff. We're just sitting there and I was like, this is crazy. Like, we are about to save some money, yo. Donna says they're both still sacked out on the floor. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, that's what was going on around us. We had one of the earlier ones before it was just like dusk. And we only did one of these. A lot of the fireworks now come with QR codes so that you can see what they do, which is cool. I think that's really cool. Well, we didn't look at this specific one, and it was called a ladybug, and it literally is like that big, and it looks like a ladybug. And you put it down, you light it, and it starts spinning and then shoots straight up in the air and continues spinning, and there's different colors. But then the shell, which is plastic, ends up flying next door. Not cool. I was expecting it to just come straight down. Nope. It ended up going into the neighbor's yard. It was just a little piece of plastic, so it didn't hurt anything. But that was the one and only. We didn't do any more of those. I was like, nope, I'm taking that one inside because I don't need any bullshit happening. And I want to be respectful of my neighbors. So yeah, we were not going to do that one. That was not the one. Yeah, but we had a great time. It was a great time. I grilled like crazy. Had some chicken on there, a bunch of corn and ribs in the Traeger, and then to my right, I had my Blackstone going as well. Made some smash burgers and hot dogs. Yo, I was busting out some food. However, it was like 88. Probably the feels like was over 90. And I was out there that entire time. It took me 45 minutes, maybe closer to an hour, to finally cool down when I came inside. I even had one of those neck fans, yo. And it didn't do shit. It was fun, but also kind of scary because I started getting a little dizzy when I was trying to cool down and I was inside. And luckily I was fine, but holy moly, man. Like, I had a hat on. I kept coming in to take breaks. But I think it was probably going from the super hot into the AC and then back, which is what really screwed me up. And I was hydrated. So, but either way, it was a good time. Now, there's one more thing I want to play for all of you. Well, I've got two more things, but I mean that have to do with 4th of July. So this one is kind of weird. You can tell me what you think. Okay. So you see that streak? I'm going to play this. It's only 5 seconds, okay?
It's a UFO. It's a UFO. It's a UFO.
Okay. So here's the crazy thing. I just caught a glimpse of this, but we were out there and out of nowhere, we saw something streak by that left this streak here that you see. And then it was just like a flash of light and it disappeared. We're guessing that it was a firework of some sort. But I was like, that's pretty crazy. Yes. That's what we were saying. We were like, man, it's some aliens or something, man. But come on. I doubt it was anything like that. But it was pretty weird. What I'm thinking. Oh, Kelsey, what's up, yo? She's Chief didn't care about fireworks either. You know, my brother had his dog there too, and yeah, he was here. His name's Dio. He's named after Ronnie Dio, and he was not down with the fireworks either. He was just inside, just like watching us. Like, dude, no. Donna says, "Well, it's not Independence Day until Randy Quaid yells up yours." Yeah, right. Or what happened with Will Smith, right? Doesn't he say something like "Welcome to Earth," and then he punches one of them? Dude, that was a prelude to the Oscars when he slapped Chris Rock. That poor dude, man. How I'm just gonna leave it at that. So you know what I think happened? It was probably a plane that went by with the streak, and when we saw that flash, it was probably someone shooting up a mortar or something, or one of those single ones that flashes, because you can hear the fireworks going off. So that's probably what it was. It was probably a plane that just shot by and we saw the flash from one of the fireworks that was going up. You know, that's what I'm going to stick with. Yep, that's what happened. That is exactly what happened. But I just thought it was weird because we were all like, should we go inside? And then the huge fireworks started going off and everything else a little bit after that. And it was just, what? Let's see. Kelsey says, our other dog had a rough night and Chief looked at him like he was crazy. It's like, bro, what's wrong with you? I was like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you freaking out? Because I'm trained to be support and calm. You know, that's the conversation they were having. The other dog's like, whatever, dude. You think you're cool? I'm sorry, Kelsey. I'm just... Oh, shit. I'm so stupid. Oh, man. I'm making myself cry. That's how hard I'm laughing. Woo. Donna says it was a weather balloon. You know, it could be. It could have been. I don't know. Either way, that day was hot, man. It was super hot. I don't know where anybody else was, but holy hell, was it hot. It was really hot out there. Now, I want to put something else on the screen here, and because I have a question for all of you. I saw this recently, and I showed it to my daughter Lola, who's my older daughter. She's 13, which is crazy to think. And I showed her this. And I also told her, I was like, so there's a swear word in this, but you're old enough. You know what it means. It's okay. So I showed this to her and she goes, what? Wait, what? So here it is. And I want to know if all of you who are here with me right now, if you remember this, okay? I want to know if you remember this. Here we go. It says, kids, I shit you not. There used to be a phone number you could call just to find out what time it was. Woo. Anyone? I will wait for you to respond in the comments. But it was probably one of we always have funny conversations, my kids and I, and this was right up there with some of the top ones. 91 Bowler says, "Oh yeah, been there, done that." Yeah. So I showed this, and she's like, "What?" She goes, "Wait a minute, like, so like people didn't have clocks or what?" And I said to her, I said, "Well, yeah. They did have clocks. People had watches, but there was a phone number so that you could call to see what time it was." And I said, maybe it was more so, I said, because we didn't have access to information the way we do now, where everything is in the palm of our hand or the stroke of a key, anything like that. Laura Walters over here says, "I missed the time, lady." Yes. So yeah, you could call. And I told her it was probably for a lot of folks as well, where, you're living in, like when you switch times, daylight saving, fall back, all of that. It probably had to do with that as well, where people didn't know, so they would call. Wait, Laura says, "A year or so ago, I woke up and was confused as to what time of day it was. I really needed her that day." It happens. But yeah, I was telling her that, and I said, I said also before cable, when it was like 3 main channels, even before Fox, channels would actually go off the air. And she goes, "What?" And then she goes, "Oh no, I do remember that," because I think she saw it was like on a movie or something that we were watching. And I said, "Yeah, I don't remember if it was 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But yeah, what would it say? It'd say something like, and that concludes today's broadcast or broadcasting or something to that effect." And it would show the American flag, right? And it would play the anthem, and then that's all you would hear. And it would have like the different colors and everything, and it would say no broadcasting or I don't know, something like that. Yes, the national anthem at the end. Yeah, ABC, CBS, and NBC. So it was at 2 a.m. Okay, at 2 a.m. I thought it was at like 3, but okay, 2 a.m. Yes. And yeah, it would shut off. That would be it. And you would just hear that sound until what, 6 o'clock or something, and then they'd be back. That's also like, I had an older TV. So I was born in 1981, but I remember as a kid, the TV that I had, it was this huge, wait, I got to move over here, right here. Okay. It was this enormous TV. It was a tube, like literally a tube. And it had 2 knobs and a button to turn it on, pull it out to turn it on, and push it in to turn it off. And the 2 buttons, one was UHF and one was VHF. And if there was static on the knob, you could turn it almost like tracking on a VHS player to This sounds so crazy. To make the picture better. Yeah, dude. I remember that shit. I remember. Wait, Donna says, remember being your parents' remote control? Yeah, pretty much. However, we had a Betamax. Yeah, if you remember that. We had a Betamax, and I don't remember. I mean, it was hooked into the TV, right? But with the remote, we were actually able to switch the channels off of that one, and it was pretty cool. Laura says, you had a fancy TV. Damn, I miss the old days. Yeah, dude. I remember those days, but it was hilarious to have this and to show it. Because like I said, I love talking to my kids about back in the day growing up and some of the stuff that we had that they will never get to experience. Like going to Blockbuster on a Friday to rent your favorite movie or the movie that had just come out that you knew that it had just come out and you wanted to get that microwave popcorn, some candy, some pop or soda, depending on where you're at, and get that movie. And the way it was set up, it was all of the boxes. And you'd go in there. But here's the thing, your heart would be broken. Especially because for us, we lived about 35 minutes away from the nearest Blockbuster, which was in Holland, Michigan, on South Washington. It was the closest one to us, and we would drive there. We'd go to Blockbuster, and we would quickly find the section that had the movie. And if you remember, it was the box, and behind it was the actual video in the plastic Blockbuster case. And if there were none there, you were screwed. So we'd be going for those 35 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on traffic, and we would get there and we'd be like, no. Sometimes we would be lucky. You'd go up to the front counter and say, has anyone returned such and such movie? And they, oh, actually, we just got one in. Let me check it in really quick and you can snag it. We're like, yes, we got it. And then we go to Hot Now and get some cheap ass burgers and then drive home. But man, those late fees were a bitch because it was so far away. And sometimes we would have fees. But yeah, man, like that, those were some good times. I mean, we had a local video store, right? But there were a lot of times where in the local video store, and my local video store was called Mr. Music's. It was the coolest place. And sometimes they would have them and sometimes they wouldn't. So we would have to travel all the way to Holland to find a movie there at Blockbuster. Let me see. Let me look back in the comments here. 91 Bowler says, don't forget the antenna on the roof. If you had money, you had an electric antenna positioner. We didn't have loot like that, man. I remember my dad going up there a couple times to adjust it. But then we ended up getting cable. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a minute really quick. Laura over here says, kids today have zero clue. Yeah, dude, for real. Donna says, I remember the antenna towers when I was 5. My older sister dared me to climb ours. My mom nearly died. Oh, no. 91 Bowler says, if you had a trained Blockbuster eye, you could tell if there was a movie behind the box from the door. Oh, look at you, dude. Very nice. Laura says, Time Lady phone number, area code, local exchange, 1212. Oh, man. You know what? The other thing, too. What is it called? Oh, shit. What was it called? Was it called Movie Phone? Something like that? Like, you would call to see what the times were going to be for movies. I don't think you could get tickets or anything like that, at least not yet, but I remember that you could call a phone number, whether it be your local theater or just one that like covered the area, and it would give you like the information to the movie and then the times. That was another one. Uh, Donna says, ours was time and temperature. She gave the time and weather. Oh, no shit. Okay. That one I didn't know. Maybe they had an upgrade. Oh, man. I tell you what, those were some good times. We ended up getting cable. I eventually we ended up getting cable, but it was a box. It was like this big. It was a box, and there were 3 like rows, and you could switch between those, and you would just press on the button. Let me remove this. There we go. And you would just press on the button. So let's say it was like, I don't know, 2 to 16, and then 17 to 20 something, and then so on. And I remember it would go to TBS. So I would switch up one and then press the button, and it would go to TBS. And we could watch, whatever was on there at the time. And probably mostly wrestling. We would be watching WCW wrestling or sometimes Little House on the Prairie. Saturday afternoon. But we had that box. And then 1994, we were probably one of the first homes in the small city of Fenville that I grew up in that had internet, dude. Yeah. America Online is what we had. And I remember my friends would come over and we would just be in chat rooms just talking with random people, and we're like, this is crazy, man. Like this is pretty nuts. But cool that we're able to talk to people all over the place. Let's see. Laura here says, do you remember the original DVDs? They were like an LP vinyl record. Yes. Yeah, dude. The huge ones. Laser discs is what those were. And those were expensive. And if you remember the show Cribs, I don't think they showed that anymore. But I remember in the like early 2000s, they would go, because they would go to celebrity homes and they would show what their house looked like or whatever. And in their movie room, they still had Laserdisc. I don't know if they still have them now, but early 2000s, they still had Laserdisc. And it was for movies that had just come out in the theater and celebrities were able to buy them. And they would just have them there. Those big ass, like a 12-inch vinyl. Let's see. Now Bowler says, we didn't get cable until we moved to New Jersey. I remember my older brother trying to watch the Playboy channel with the squiggly static lines. Your bro was trying to watch some Skinamax. Oh, man. Don over here says, I have the Clerks Laserdisc, but no way to play it. You have a Laserdisc? That is amazing. I bet you could, dude, I bet you can go on eBay and find one. That's where I got my Betamax. I have an actual Betamax in this room, and I have a bunch of old Betamax tapes. I recently got a VHS player as well, so that I can transfer all of those old family videos just to an MP4, just to a file. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. You have Laserdisc. But yeah, you can go on eBay, I'm pretty sure, and you can find one. Shit's gonna be expensive. But I'm sure there's one there that you can get. Oh man. Yep. I think before I play this last video and we go into the wrap up of this, which by the way, this has been so much fun with all of you talking about everything today and going down memory lane with all of you as well. Donna says, I remember your search for the VCR. Yeah, and it all worked out. I have it. I've got all of the like the device pieces to be able to transfer those over. And so cool. Very cool to go back, but also to show my kids some of these videos growing up and them being like, that's you. They're like, what? I'm like, yes, that's me. Laura says, I still own a VCR player because I have a few VHS tapes I cannot find on DVD. Dude, that's the way to do it, though. And if you can transfer it to a file, even better, because then you can just watch it whenever. You just watch it on any device. One of the coolest things. One last thing before I show you this video going into the wrap-up. I remember being in school, not having change. This is in high school. Not having change on me at the time and calling home collect. And as soon as it would say the name, like go to record for the name, it's like, after the tone, please say your name. And then it would go beep. Hey, Mom. And I would just start going, hey, Mom, it's me. Everything is over. I need you to come and pick me up as soon as you can. Okay. All right, bye. And then the phone would ring and my parents would pick it up and they would hear, you have a collect call from, hi, Mom, I'm just getting ready. It's so stupid, right? But that's the way we did it. Had no change, but I also didn't want my parents to get charged for the collect call. Laura says, now the only place that you can call collect is jail or prison. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. It's so crazy, man. Thinking about how things were back in the day. Oh, that is good stuff. All right. So, hold on a minute. Donna says, heck yeah, I did that. Please say your name. Hey, it's Donna. Come get me. Come get me. I'll be by the gym. Hey, it's Donna. Come get me. I'll be by the gym. Oh man, I hope that your numbers have gone up, even if it's by one number or even if it stayed the same. I've had so much fun with you, all of you, tonight, and this has been so good. See, this is what I love as well, is that I don't always have to play like, funny clips of 911 calls or a lot of 911 stories all the time, because we can just simply do this and enjoy each other's company, share these stories, reflect, and just have a good time, man. I love doing this with all of you. And this has been so much fun. I want to play this clip here. This is called Lessons Learned from 911 Experience. This was from one of the most recent episodes that I recorded in California, in Long Beach. And this was at the NENA conference. Donna says, I really needed this tonight. This has been such a hard weekend and past week. I needed all of you as well. Just because in general, I just love laughing with all of you. And I just love having a good time. And just to see all of you on here, this is always good. Laura says, former 911 operator, lots of stories. Yeah, I love it. I love it. The stories, all of it. Such a good time. I I've just been having so much fun with all of you. Josh, holy shit, dude. What is going on? Things are very well. I hope that they are well for you too, dude. Holy moly. I have not seen or heard from you for a while. You know what? That's a lie. I've seen a few things and I've reacted to them on LinkedIn, but it's cool to see you on here. I hope you and Jill are still working together as well. I haven't seen Jill in a while, but Allegan County represent. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I want to play this really quick because this was both clips that I have posted from Tiffany. Tiffany is a recent recipient of the Gold Line Scholarship that National Nina puts out there, and she was all over the place, and she was doing excellent. She's going to be doing some awesome things, and she was... If you've not heard that one, it's only about 25 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less. It's between there. 25 minutes is the episode, and she had a lot to say, a lot to share, and really a good spot about investing in yourself, choosing you. And it was just such a good episode. So if you haven't had a chance, please make sure to check it out. Tiffany, shout out to you. You are amazing. But I want to play this clip here because in the end of the episode, well, you'll hear it here, and then we'll talk about it. Out of the 8 years that you've been in this profession, if you could go back in time to talk to yourself in the beginning, what would you tell yourself? And it's not to change anything, because I feel as though there are hard lessons, all types of lessons that we learn that bring us to the person that we are today. But if you could go back in time to talk to yourself, what would you say to yourself?
You're going to need help. You're going to need support. Go find it and go get it. If no one's going to bring it to you, go find it.
That's awesome. Perfect. You're good. You're good.
I'm not going to cry.
Thank you so much. But, you know, even with letting out the emotions, this is a good thing.
No,
because
we're supposed to be tough.
We are supposed to be tough. But there's more courage in showing that emotion than holding it in. So this is a good thing.
No, just bottle that shit up.
No. I did that shit for too long. And it hurt more than it helped.
Yeah.
So that's what's good about conversations like this,
yes,
and what you are doing right now in showing that emotion. So I wanted that to be the last thing that we put out there for this open mic. Because what I said there in that moment is very important. And the fact that she felt comfortable enough, even with a shit ton of people walking around, walking by her. We were in the vendor hall. And if you've never been in a vendor hall, whether it be state or national conference, there are a lot of people walking by. And we were sitting there and we were talking, and I asked her that question. It's the same question I've asked my guests for years now. Years. And some folks, when I ask them that question, they do get emotional. Because you have that split-second moment to reflect on however many years that you've been in this profession. And sometimes there's something that creeps in there where you wish you could go back and tell yourself, things are going to be okay. Don't worry. Or as Tiffany said, you're going to need help. Go find it. If people aren't going to help you or be there for you, you go and help yourself. And she got emotional. But she was also kind of laughing, which is why you hear me laughing with her. And, you know, I'm telling her, no, you're good. Everything is okay. You're good. And she's saying, you know, bottle it up and everything else. But it was a good moment as well. as she's saying that and what we are talking about right there in that moment, because after we were done recording, she's like, "You're right. Yeah. And I did choose myself." And she's choosing to better herself. She applied for this scholarship. She was doing so many different things, and she's going to continue doing different things. And she loves what she does. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard profession. But she's also making that conscious choice to do more and more outside of the center. So don't try not to worry so much. Things are going to be okay. And if you need help, seek it or reach out to others, because people are out there that are willing to help, willing to listen to understand, not just reply. It was such a good moment. The entire episode is, but especially that last minute, that clip that you heard. Because as I said, there's more courage in opening up than holding it in. And it took me a while to learn that, which is why I do everything that I do, to hopefully leave this profession in a better place than I found it. And if I can help anyone to not go through the bullshit that I did when I was holding stuff in, then I'm going to help as many people as I can. You know, a lot of times, those who say that they put it on a shelf, those who say that it doesn't impact them at all, excuse me, those that scoff at opening up, at sharing, or anything like that, sometimes those are the folks that need the most help. Continue to ask each other if you're okay. You know that the response you're going to get mostly is going to be, "Yeah, I'm fine." Are you sure you're okay? It could be just that "are you sure" that allows that person to open up. But of course, when they're ready. Let's take care of each other, damn it. I just wanted to share that last part with you. Again, it was a great episode. And Tiffany, thank you for everything. Thank you for what you do in this profession. And all of you, thank you for what you do in this profession, whether you are new to it, seasoned, or retired out. Once dispatch, always dispatch. We're here for each other. It's how we're going to make it through this. I just want to look at this here really quick. Laura says, in my time of 911, emotions were forbidden. I'm so happy that things have changed. I miss the work, but don't know I could go back to it. At one time, it did seem like the emotions were forbidden, right? And yes, it has definitely changed. Conversation has changed since around 2016, just before 2016, but especially that year and beyond. We are sharing, we are just helping each other, and all through the power of storytelling. Using what? Our voice. That's how much power each and every one of you have. And I will continue to tell you how powerful you are and how important you are to each other and this profession. Those out in the field and those who call in. There you have it. Donna says, we have to be able to help ourselves and help others. You know, I'm big on the mental health aspect of it, especially now. I'm off work because of my shoulder surgery, so I wasn't able to work during the floods, but I've been checking on my people multiple times during the past few days. And that is super important. That's what it's all about right there, too. Donna says, I'm letting them know I'm there in any way I can be there. Then my heart hurts right along with theirs. I can almost guarantee that helps a ton. is just knowing that you have someone there looking out for you. So again, thank you all for what you do. And this has been a great, great open mic. Where are your numbers now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, where are you at now? I'm like way above a 10 now. And for everyone who is working through what's going on in Central Texas, you are all heroes. Keep doing what you do. Keep checking on each other. And our hearts go out to you, all of you. So thank you again. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital, a leader next-gen core services. Big shout out to subscribers, especially all of you who are here watching, supporting, sharing, all of it. I've had so much fun tonight with all of you. If you ever want to be a guest on the flagship show, the OG show Within the Trenches podcast, you can simply shoot me a message or hit the button to schedule something. Right there on the screen, it is links, but that is links with 2eyes.co/IAM911, and you'll find everything there. Everything. You will also find the link for the Trenches community, a free community that has over 200 hours of continuing education from the Dare to Be Great sessions. That's Dare to Be Great 1 through 6, and also 43 rounds of the Dispatchers Roundtable. And on, I believe it's the 16th, round 44 is going to be coming up. And that's going to be with a group out of Massachusetts. And it is going to be awesome. So make sure that you check that out. But also tomorrow, I think I'm going to go live in the morning on the community, have some coffee with you, and just talk. See what's going to be going on for the week to come. So I hope to see all of you there. And again, that is on Circle. If you don't have the link, please go to, or if you're not a member yet, again, it's all free. Go to links with 2eyes.co/IAM911 and you can join me tomorrow. It'll probably be about 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll just be on there for about 30 minutes or so. Just kind of talking, recapping, having a cup of coffee with all of you. And I will see you then. All right. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as X and Instagram. And then for the flagship show, as well as the Imagine Listening podcast, you can listen on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app. And for the flagship show, you can also check it out at withinthetrenches.net. Have a good night, everyone. And I will see you all in the next one.